Hey everybody, welcome to Trivia Ronin. My name is Matt McNelly. I'll be your host this evening. Whether you're joining us live on Zoom or Twitch or after the fact on YouTube, welcome. We are happy to have you. Quick breakdown of the rules. 1, we are an honor code system here. You keep your own score. If you don't keep your own score, Trivia Rat keeps your score. Just make sure you're not a jerk and don't cheat. And also, why would you cheat? Because guess what? You get nothing. Number 2, after each question, you're going to get 45 seconds to answer. Absolutely do not show your answer until the time is up. Don't be that guy. Number 3, you should know this already for my Twitch heads. On Twitch, answer with about 5 seconds left in the chat. If you want to play with us in the chat, that should line up with us live and not spoil it for anybody else. But that keeps us all playing together, baby. We're all in this together. Tonight, assuming this works, we are keeping this together with duct tape thanks to the good people at Frontier Communications. Brought to you by Frontier Communications. They can give you one house's worth of internet among 2 apartments. But we are trying to do this. It's going to be 30 questions if we're lucky, 20 normal ones, 10 you look at in the whale around, a few bonus points sprinkled in, and then a story question at the end worth 10. It's actually worth 5 and 5 this evening. You'll see. But without further ado, let's play Trivia Ronin. Question number 1. Question 1, all infant marsupials, not only baby kangaroos, are referred to by this term. What is it? 45 seconds. Every single infant marsupial. Boom, bop. Good, it's going now. All infant marsupials, not only baby kangaroos, are referred to by this term. Thanks, Darcy. Darcy got on Twitch, everybody. I will start Trivia Rat now. Thank you, Doug. And so everyone on Zoom, I can't hear you at this point. I love all of you, and I cannot hear anything. So bless you. If you put it in a chat, I'll be able to know. It's almost like broadcasting from Mars. This is kind of fun. Or like a TV show. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, Trivia Rat. Now I see it. 2, 1. Show 'em. How did we do? Don't worry, I can see visual things. Emily, I'm giving you a half point to start off. Pocket Baby is my favorite. The answer was, indeed, Joey. Or Joseph. Or any of the above. But yes, we're looking for... There's the transition. Joey! Whoa! You guys remember Joey Lawrence? Anyway, question 2. In late 1998, residents of Minnesota started putting "My governor can beat up your governor" stickers on the back of their car. To whom were they referring? 45 seconds. And I'm sorry, this is misleading. They're referring their governor, not the governor they want to beat up. Although if we want to write some George Sununu jokes in here, go nuts, guys. I think he was actually a senator. But his son is now governor. That's just some New Hampshire politics jokes for you. In late 1998, residents of Minnesota started putting "My governor can beat up your governor" stickers on the back of their car. To whom were they referring? Because he was just elected. Who was just elected? I hear Darcy in the other room speaking about an ad campaign. Anyway, show him, guys. Yes, Pudman. Pudman nailed it. I'm sure other people did once my Zoom catches up. Jesse the Body Ventura. Jesse TB. Or Joey the Body Lawrence, as Doug likes to say. Whoa, I'm in such good shape. Whoa, watch out for the predator. Question 3, what punctuation mark got its shape? From an orthographic ligature of the letters E and T. I'd explain what an orthographic ligature is, but what's the fun in that? I'll explain in 40 seconds. What punctuation mark got its shape from an orthographic ligature of the letters E and T? Big ups to Sethron. I have decreased my output quality, as smart Twitchers know how to do. I just figured it out, so hopefully that helps on all ends. What punctuation mark got its shape from an orthographic ligature of the letters E and T? And the answer's not Steven Spielberg. 2-1, show 'em. We Chef. We Chef, question mark, good guess. We Chef, otherwise you could either write it itself or you could write it all out. Well done, Pud, for writing it out. Ampersand comes from the French for and, which is E-N-T. That's why it became that. Get it? Question 4. You learn something every day at Trivia Ronin. What winter sports term at 4 letters long was also the shortest word ever to determine the national spelling bee? 45 seconds. A term from winter sports. 4 letters long. Stumped. Stumped our smartest young minds. And it's not dirty. Because that's 5 letters. Just kidding. It's not a dirty word is what I meant. We have fun here. Trivia Ronin. We have fun here. What winter sports term at 4 letters was also the shortest word ever to determine? It was the final word at the National Spelling Bee one year. And goddamn, I'll never forget it. Just kidding. It wasn't me in the finals. I'm not a good speller. 2-1, show 'em. Where are my... Yes, Pudman. Yes, Jasper. Many got this. Good, good, good. I feel good. Snow. Doug with an excellent guess on snow. Luge. L-U-L-O-O-J-E. Luge. Question 5. In Texas Hold'em, poker snobs call what hand 2 fish hooks? 45 seconds. I had never heard this term, which suggests I'm not enough of a poker snob. 2 fish hooks. 2 fish hooks. Which one is it? I'd say there are 2 guesses to this one. If I had to guess at what you would guess. I know the answer, but 2 guesses. This is real fun. I hope everybody at Zoom is talking to me right now because, whoo, it's frozen. Whoo, boy, it's frozen. I know it's still working. Tara Erickson, we do have fun here. Good to see you. Tara is correct. The answer to this one is pussy fingers. 2-1, show 'em. Everyone who had pussy fingers is correct. Or you might have said pocket jacks or 2 jacks. Jacks is what we were looking for. A pair of jacks. Well done, Douglas. Question 6. Over under, everybody's favorites. 10 people have been made honorary citizens of the United States. Name one of them for a bonus point. I'll only give 1 point. But is it over under 10 people who have been given honorary American citizenship? We've been around since 1776 here in America. So if you think less, put the word under. If you think more, put the word over. If you think it's 10, you're wrong because I wrote the question. So that wouldn't be the answer. It's not a football bet. It's a question I wrote. 10 people, more or less, have been made honorary citizens of the United States. And then name one of them for a bonus point. I'll tell you all of them afterwards. Spoilers, it's enough that I can read them. 2-1, show 'em. Pud, you're the only one who works on my Zoom, and I'm loving it. Oh, well, you get a bonus point, but it is actually under. Under for 8. But Mother Teresa is one of them, and let me read you the list. Comprehensive list. Bernardo de Galvez. Sure. Of Galveston. That's how he got, but he fought in the Revolutionary War. He was nice, but he was not. I believe he was Mexican. Casimir Pulaski, if you're from Chicago. What? Casimir Pulaski. Famous Polish Revolutionary War hero. The Marquis de Lafayette, of course. Mother Teresa is one of them. Pud got that. William and Hannah Penn, so either one of the Penns born in England, but then of Pennsylvania fame. Raoul Wallenberg, who I didn't know, but famous for saving a bunch of Jews in the Holocaust. He's a good dude. He was a Swedish diplomat who ferried them to the States via diplomatic immunity. And Winston Churchill. Half American anyway. Old Winnie Church. So hopefully people got one. I'll find out later on. You're all frozen. Question 7. Let it go, let it go. Now they're almost exclusively carbon fiber, but originally pole vault poles were made of what natural material? 45 seconds. I'm looking for a natural material because there were sort of 2 answers to this, but I'm not looking for metal or an alloy, which limits it. One of the good things, guys, about what's happening right now is that Emily is frozen in a lovely smile. I hope she's still smiling. Now they're almost exclusively carbon fiber, but originally pole vault poles were made. Tara, you're early. Were made of what natural material? It's fine. She's new here. But yes, you're right. If you're on Twitch and Zoom, the right answer is in the chat. 2-1, show them. I think we all knew this, though. Yeah. I'm sure we all knew it. It is bamboo. Bamboo. Is Sub-Zero here? Which one's Sub-Zero? Oh, thank you. God, you're good. She's good, guys. Tara spitting out zingers. This is why we joined Twitch. Question 8. In 1827, John Walker sold the first friction lights in his English drugstore, an invention he never patented. But what do we call them today? We still use them. 45 seconds. Still used to this day. Mortal Kombat! There you go. That's for you. In 1827, John Walker lost to history, but he sold the first ever friction lights in his English drugstore, an invention he never patented. Didn't make any money off of them. But what do we call them today? What do we call them today? They're called something else. They're not called friction lights. Who's got it? My only friend Pud is now also frozen. I'm assuming we all got it. Show him to Doug. He'll enjoy it. I'm sure you wrote matches. Matches. Because get it? They're friction, and then they light up. Question 9. In 1630, I know it's weird because they have fire more than light, but they also light things. Question 9, in 1630, John Winthrop, let's stick with our Johns, John W's, is elected governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, and he delivers a famous speech comparing America to what? Patriots. Patriots, respond to this question. 45 seconds. A famous metaphor for America. He's the one who did it. He started it. Ooh, I'm in the green now. That's good. 1630, John Winthrop is elected governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. He delivers a famous speech comparing America to what? 9-second hint. Ronald Reagan used this a lot. Not used it. Sorry, used this metaphor. A lot. Doug, excellent guess, and I'm assuming many will. Let's show him. Whoo! Pud, man, got it. You know what? Pud, I'm going to give you... Here's the thing. It's a shining city on a hill. You tell me how much you want for that. I'll give you a half point. But like a beacon on a hill, I don't know. I feel like that's good enough. It's good enough for me. We'll put it to a vote. We'll put it to a vote at the half, but I'll give you a point. I think it's a point. It's like shining. It's a beacon. Beacons are in cities. Question 10. What's the name of the westernmost region of Scotland, which famously lent its name to a sock and a sweater pattern of note? 45 seconds. Or a sock and sweater pattern. Tara is correct. I'm being facetious. Doug is not new here, guys. Wait, what? Oh, that's fun. Where did it go? Oh, cool. Well, at least that was question 10. Somehow I just clicked and dragged all my questions away. Everything's going great, guys. but I have this one at least. Where'd you go? You over here? Hello? Oh, I know how to find you. Let's reset you. Ah, great. Show them, everybody. How we doing? Yeah. It is that. It's the one thing that you know. Argyle. It's the thing. It's the thing we know. So guys, that is 10 questions. We did it. Let's take 3 minutes, walk away. I'm hoping by the time I come back, I'm going to get maybe a few cameras just shut off. So maybe when they turn back on, I'll be able to reconnect with all of you. But let's take our 3 minutes. Let's go have a good time. I'll grade up the rat. Bye-bye. Ooh, Doug's moving again. This is good. This is good. People of Twitch, it was not 2 hours, despite what we thought on my timer. Cool, we're back, guys. So let's see some scores, and I'll read the ones that I possibly can. Larry Labia, you're at 6, actually. I thought you were at 7. Doug is frozen in a thumbs up now, which is much better for me. I like to get the approval. 7 for Douglas. Yeah, Zoom, folks, you can throw it in the chat if you want. Also, Doug, you're still moving. Let me know if Emily gets back. Chris, I caught you in a yawn. This is really fun for me. Maybe I should be screenshotting what I get you guys frozen as, because it's kind of fun. But yes, we are back. Okay, everybody, I've verified with my living room that most of us are back. So I'm going to get started. Cyrus will come back when Cyrus comes back. We know how that goes. I am starting up Trivia Rat again. Larry's at 6, so I feel like it's pretty much everybody's game, although I didn't see anybody else's scores, but I feel like we're in a 6 or 7 area, which is exciting. Next round, same as the last. I just resized all of my questions because something exciting happened that I'll talk to Doug about later. Anyway, question 11 is where we're going to start. Thank you, Zoom. My internet connection's unstable. Question 11, what actress just received her Best Supporting Actress Golden Globe for The Mauritanian while in her pajamas on the couch with her wife? 45 seconds. Anybody watch the Globes this year? I didn't. I just Googled this afterwards. That's fair. It seems it's not, it's tough to be doing ceremonies right now. But also, anybody watch The Mauritanian? Because I feel like that's a no. I watched some of it and fell asleep. No offense to this actress, who I find lovely. There's your 5-second hint. Matt enjoys this actress's work. 3, 2, 1, show 'em. Doug with a question mark. No need for a question mark, Douglas, because you are correct. I assume everybody else is going to be correct. Jodith Foster. Jodith P. Foster is the answer. Jodie Foster. Isn't that nice? Because in 06, she was like, I'm really happy to be with... She had to be real quiet about being a lesbian. Now she's like, I'm going to kiss my wife and be in my pajamas. She also thanked Aaron Rodgers, Emily. That's why I gave you this question. Now enough Packer talk. The Ganges River starts and mostly lies within India, but drains to the ocean in what country? 45 seconds. Sometimes I like to ask questions like I'm an old-timey philosopher. The Ganges River starts and mostly lies within India, but drains to the ocean in what country? Gumshoes. This is my Carmen Sandiego question. Where in the world does the Ganges River drain to? Ay, ay, ay. It drains to the Indian Ocean, guys. That's your hint. But obviously the answer is not India. This river starts and is mostly in India. famously, thank you, Doug. China is a perfectly valid guess. But Carmen Sandiego's in Bangladesh, dude. She's in Bangladesh right now. Stealing the whole Ganges River. She's not doing that. She's a fictional character. It was Bangladesh, guys. It's also probably where half your t-shirts are from. Check the tag. Question 13. The working title for the movie Scream ended up becoming the actual title of a separate comedy franchise. What was it? 45 seconds. What's the working title for the movie Scream? Wes Craven. Wesley Craven. In Hollywood, guys, a working title means we haven't figured out the real title yet, but it's a working title. It's like how Trivia Ronin is a working title for what we're doing here. Once we get to 200 episodes, we'll have a good name for it. Doug's frozen, so I can't see his response, which is super helpful right now. The working title for the movie Scream, which became a franchise in its own right, became the actual title of a separate comedy that then also became a franchise. You guys know what it is, though. Doug's shirt's from Nicaragua. Yeah, how about... Somebody said it, and you are correct. By the way, half point for anyone to put where their t-shirt's from in the chat. So Doug, half point for Nicaragua. Scary movie. Scary movie. Because that was the Bangladesh joke. I said most of your t-shirts are from Bangladesh, and Doug said his t-shirt is from Nicaragua. So I'll give anybody a half point to tell me what their t-shirt tag says in the chat. We'll figure it out. Question 14. Darcy chatted. Maybe. How many yellow cards does it take to be thrown out of a soccer game? 45 seconds. Or, to our international viewers, a football match. See? See? We welcome all types here. How many yellow cards does it take to be thrown out? To be thrown off the pitch, as the kids say. And the old people. Just anyone from not America, that's what they say. To be pitched off the pitch, if you will. How many yellow cards does it take to be thrown out of a soccer game? Two, one. Darcy's shirt is from Hottie Bros. Gets a point. Wee Chef. Pud, you froze right on the answer, and you look great doing it. Many others got it, I'm sure. Many people are saying a one, a two. The end. Two. Two was the answer. It takes two, baby. It takes two. Me and you. Question 15. In America, you'll never see a blue exit sign because legally they must be one of two colors. This question, you need to name both colors, and that will be your answer. That is good enough for 1 point. I've been nice enough about points tonight. I need both colors for 1 point. You know them. Quick, go run out in your apartment's hallway. See what you see. Two colors on exit signs. One of them's not blue. I gave you that. Never see a blue one. I'm also talking about the light underneath the word exit. But I assume even if they're not light up, you have to make them one of these colors. My assumption. I'm not OSHA. In America, you'll never see a blue exit sign because legally they must be one of what two colors? So the two colors were, of course, those who are colorblind don't care, red or green. Or if you're colorblind, just an ambiguous brown. That's about, all looks the same. Question 16. Feels like they've been around forever, guys, but within 3 years, when did the USPS introduce forever stamps? 45 seconds. When was the first year that you could buy a forever stamp? And I'll give you guys the ROI on Forever Stamps at the end, but I don't want to give it away. Return on investment. That's not actually it. No, I'm not using that term right. It feels like they've been around forever, but within 3 years, when did the United States Postal Service introduce Forever Stamps? Give you 3 above or 3 below. It was within all of our lifetimes on this call. I'll say that. Unless one of you is secretly 14 years old. Let's show him. And show him it was indeed the year 2007. Oh, Larry got it on the mark. I can hear that. 2007 on the dot. Yeah, I'll give you a half point if you were spot on. Larry was spot on. That gets him a half point. 07. Where my philologists at? I think that's the term. Question 17. Love this one. Rep your squad. Who's the only person ever to host shows on ABC, CBS, and NBC simultaneously and still has his name on an annual television event? 45 seconds. Also, he's dead. He is dead. Doug, I'm taking a photo of the face you're making while frozen because it might just become the new Trivia Ronin background. Who's the only person ever to host shows on ABC, CBS, and NBC simultaneously? Simultaneously, poor use of the word, during the same year. Monday, he's at ABC. Tuesday, he's at CBS. It was something like that. It was in the 1980s, just to tell you when that happened. That's your 10-second giveaway. 2-1. Show 'em. The annual TV event indeed is New Year's Rockin' Eve, or Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve. Dick Clark, everybody. Host Dick Clark. Couldn't stop him back in the day. All 3 networks, only person to do it. Question 18. The Pritzker Prize honors excellence in what field? 45 seconds. The Pritzker Prize honors excellence in what field? This one gets a 15-second hint. So let's all just sit around until 15 seconds. The Pritzker Prize honors excellence in what field? 25-second hint is it's sponsored by the Hyatt Corporation, which the Pritzker family owns. 15-second hint is the Pritzkers are from Chicago, famously. And Chicago gives a shit about really one thing besides hot dogs. 3, 2, 1. I'm hoping somebody got it. I found Doug had pizza last time. That's good. Pizza is correct for Chicago. That's also true. This isn't a pizza prize, however. This is an architecture prize. Architecture. Best architect every year gets the Pritzker Prize. Best one gets it. Pritzker Prize. Chicagoans weirdly give a shit about architecture. Phuket is both a hugely popular tourist destination and the largest island of what country? 45 seconds. Cyrus, I assume you're Felon Winslow. Whoa! Guys, Trivia Ronin history. We got the timer at 46 seconds for the first time ever. Phuket, that's how you pronounce that. Don't pronounce it wrong. Is both a hugely popular tourist destination and the largest island owned by what country? Oh, I was saying, I assumed you were Felon Winslow in the chat, right? Because that's funny. You always have the funny names. But also, if you bought a Forever stamp in 2007, saved yourself a good 10 cents, guys. It's now up to like 51 cents for a letter. It's bonkers. So it was a good investment. 2-1, show 'em. I'm sure we all knew that it is an island of the nation of Thailand. Thailand. Question 20. History question. They all are, really. C.3.3 was the pseudonym this Irish author published his last poem under, as it was his prison cell number at the time. Poor guy. Died in prison. Irish. C.3.3 was the pseudonym this Irish author published his last poem under, as it was his prison cell number at the time. Potato. Potato's your way into an Irish accent. He didn't have an Irish accent. That's your 25-second spoiler. C.3.3 was the pseudonym this Irish author published his last poem under, as it was his prison cell number at the time. He was put in prison, sadly. Leonardo DiCaprio, good guess. That is the accent I was doing, was Leonardo DiCaprio in Gangs of New York. Slightly better. Slightly better than his Blood Diamond accent. 2-1. The answer was, of course, the man jailed for indecency because he was a gay. Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde put in prison for homosexuality because that was the world back then. Terrible people. Anyway, that's 2 rounds. Tally up your scores. You got 3 minutes. This time I reset my timer, so it should make sense. Very exciting. I'm going to go do Trivia Rat. I'll be back in 3. Bye. All right, fam. We're back. Larry, you're at 14 points. Lawrence of Larry. 14 points, because they got an extra 1. Anybody who did get 18 on Cyrus, and that is the only visual that's ever popped up. 18 from Cyrus. And you know what? It's going to stay there the whole time. Just repping your squad. We have learned via my Twitch that I can hear you guys when you talk. It's just you are frozen on certain images. Julian, you look great right now. I might take a quick snapshot of you for a next headshot. It's just a really good angle. Same with you, Jasper. Doug, you're moving again. That's exciting. Felon Winslow. Too many Urkels on your team. That's why your Winslow. There's your Kanye line of the night. Kanye line of the night. Guys, it's Wayla time. Wayla's going to be fun. There's 10 pictures. It's a good time. There is no theme to it because I don't believe in themes. Oh my God, you guys are back. Everybody's moving. Wait, no. Don't look at gift Wi-Fi in the mouth. So anyway, we're going to do Wayla. Is everybody ready to rock? A quick thought. I see a big smile. Marissa, it froze right on a big smile from you. Okay, good. All right, it worked. Now you're unfrozen, sadly. So anyway, it's Wayla time. Let's do it. Question number 1. This is a dish of beef. It's called what? Mute yourselves. I'll mute you for you. Perhaps you heard Larry give you the answer. I'm not playing. Doesn't matter to me. But yes. Fettuccine Alfredo is what they just said. It's not what they said earlier, but it's what they said. That's a beef dish. Beef what? It's called beef something. Beef something. Might go away. Oh, good, it stayed. Beef something. 10-second hint. There's mushrooms. There's cream. Looks like onions. Traditionally served with shoestring potatoes. I just found that out when I got this trivia question wrong. Show them. Jasper might have it. Ooh, it was coming up and then it froze. It is beef stroganoff, guys. Beef stroganoff. That's what it is. Not traditionally served on noodles, which I also found out in my trivia league. Still mad about it. Question 2. This is a starfighter. What's it called? I've asked a similar question before. I don't need this. Don't fucking get super nerdy with me and be like, well, it's specifically in the Rogue Squadron. Get out of here, nerds. There are no nerds involved in Trivia Ronin. We're all super cool jocks. Now put on your Letterman jackets and get out. But anyway, what specific starfighter is this? Brand, genre. I mean, it's clearly It's clearly from the original series because the engines were eventually cut off for later versions for aerodynamics. Yes, of course it is. It's Red 5. I'm still happy about Red 5, though. Julian, you're still right. I can't give you points because I was such a dick about it, but I'm giving you mental points. X-Wing. It is an X-Wing, guys. Shaped like an X, it's an X-Wing. I mean, the S-foils are clearly in attack position, so it's an X-Wing. Who's this guy? 45 seconds. Who's this basketballist? This one's for Doug. Doug, do you like this guy? Ah, you can't move. I can't see you anyway. What am I talking about? Oh, you moved just enough to nod. Okay. You know, guys, if you stand on your roof and squint real hard, you can see this person. Because, you know, flat. World's flat. Anyway, who's this guy? Famously, a flat earther, also. Dick Swing Fighter. Doug's getting punchy. Felon Winslow getting punchy. 3, 2, 1. Yes, of course, guys. Second leading scorer, maybe third leading scorer on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not sure at this point. I haven't checked my stats. It is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is that person. What movie is this from? You guys know. I just want to say Daniel Jones calling me right now. Daniel Jones, welcome to trivia. That's his emoji. I'm going to silence him. Love him dearly. 30 seconds left. What movie is this the poster for? That's Daniel DeVito. That's Emma Thompson. You probably forgot. That's Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson, what a babe. Right? And then, that's very handsome young Arnie. Mr. Mom gets you a half point, Doug. But you knew what it actually was, so it gets you a full point. Anyway, Junior was the answer. Yes, this movie was called Junior, remember? It wasn't twins. This one's Junior, but of course. I'm pregnant! Oh, God! Oh, I'm so glad my Zoom got enough bandwidth together for everyone's Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. It's literally the first time you've moved in 30 minutes. And God bless. That is it. This is a famous sandwich from a famous chain. I just need the name of the sandwich, please. What is this thing called? I don't need you to tell me all the ingredients, but you probably could. I just need the name of this sandwich. Anybody hungry? Sure. Oh, from what country? That's a good point. I would like the American name for the sandwich. Thank you, Cyrus. But then I would like you to tell me other names for the sandwich, please. Or perhaps a filmmaker has told us before. Perhaps. I don't know. I used to work in film. Then it all went digital, so I started working in digital. Gotcha. Yes, indeed. This is 2-1 Show 'em. We chef. We chef. We chef. We chef. It is a Big Mac. Or Cyrus, what's the other name for it? Big Mac's just the Big Mac. He's right. It's not a Royale with cheese. That's the Quarter Pounder. But a Big Mac's just a Big Mac. He's right. Any country. Big Mac. Get out of here, Baconator. It will taste different. And it definitely won't look like this. It'll probably look like actual meat. And also, you guys can't get American cheese. That's just us. Right? We don't export that. It's as important as brie cheese. Hey, in Japan, they have Thanksgiving, or they have, I love that, Christmas dinner at KFC. What's American cheese in China? Was that the question? Because I believe he was being facetious, but I would say, they're thankful for the great leap forward. They made it so far. Everyone gets an iron smelter in their backyard. We'll tell a story about that at some point. Anyway, next question. What is this creature? 45 seconds. What's this animal? It's a good picture. Who's this chunk? Look at those eyes. Man. I looked this up and I was like, I want one. Shouldn't have one. I can barely take care of myself. But these things seem like fun. Think international. Eat local. Think international. 2, 1. Yes, indeed. Of course, you knew. It's one of them things. Yeah, I think Cyrus has it. Yes, and Jasper has it. It just popped up. It's a wombat. A wombat. That's what they look like. Wombats. Not an actual bat. Who's this guy? 45 seconds. Hint. We might have talked about him earlier in the show. Doug, it's not a lion. More like you're a lion. Nailed it. Good, I got your smile. Got your smile frozen on my screen. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? And yes, we did mention this person earlier in the broadcast. So if you're thinking what you might be thinking, you're wrong. Unless it's a thing I said. 3, 2, 1, show him. Oscar Wilde, good guess. Great guess. Many people, but Jasper remembers that earlier on, one of the people to get American citizenship, being born in England, was William Penn. This is what William Penn looks like, and it's not the goddamn Quaker Oats man, because I looked that up, and he's officially not the Quaker Oats man, because they ain't trying to give him any money. He's got enough. He owns a whole state. Anyway, William Penn. That's who we were looking for. Who's this person? And I believe I'm going to appropriately say, who is she? Because I think that was in the news recently. That her pronoun, thank you, I'm hearing a yes down the way. Her preferred pronouns are she. This is an old photo. But also, just because you prefer she, don't mean you can't wear a blazer and have a solid goatee. But 14-second hit, frequently in drag, this human. Yes, yes, Douglas. Dressed to kill, indeed. Let's show them. I believe you're showing them. I'm just going to go like this. I'm sure you showed them all by now. Eddie Izzard is who this is. Eddie Izzard of that weird Tom Cruise Nazi movie fame. Just kidding. He has much more things he's famous for, but he's in that. Eddie Izzard. Who's this? 45 seconds. Who are we looking at? What are we looking at? Such a good picture. She always looks good, let's be fair, but this is a very good picture. Now I'm just vibing to her music in my mind. She is a musician. Oh, baby. Exactly. I was singing. No. I had my audio off so I could sing her song for a second. Doug, good question. Hope she learned to code, but I think she's making enough money. You are right. This is famed concert flautist Lizzo. Lizzo. And third guess, what company is this the logo for? I've asked this before. 45 seconds. This is the logo for a certain company. Quick shout out to Larry. They saw the audio dropped and they were like, the audio's down. Do we have to go emergency status? But I think we're going to make it, guys. What company's logo is this? It's an alligator. Not a crocodile. Per what the company. There it is. Per what the company says. Hey, Doug. Doug, that's it, man. Doug's got the fire on the Twitch chat. If you're missing his hot, funny stuff, I don't know what to tell you. But he's right. It's Lacoste or low cost. I was trying to catch you guys in an Izod trap with Eddie Izzard, Lizzo, and Izod. But I didn't because you're all smart. It's Lacoste. Lacoste too much, am I right? Took Doug's joke right there. There's beef stroganoff again if you were hungry. That's 3 rounds, guys. We're going to dip for 3 minutes. I'm going to see where we're at. We're going to try and talk scores when we get back. Maybe I'll insist we throw it in the chat. And then story time. Story's fun tonight. But I will be able to tell you guys a story. Tonight I'm going to talk about, because I'm hyped. I was hyped up about this. I really want to talk about a band that I find to be one of the most legit punk bands of all time. And no one would call them a punk band. But I think they stand and stood for everything that is punk for all time. They're legit anarchists. They are legit about fuck everything. We stand for what we stand for. You don't stand for anything. Those kind of people. So I'm excited to talk about it. And when we talk about selling out, people talk about selling out all the time and why you shouldn't be a sellout. The entire movie Airheads is about it. Watch it. It's great. These guys were so good that they decided, you know what? We know exactly how we can sell out. And they did in order to continue their values. They sold out. We'll talk about it. 1982, this band forms for the first time. Initial members are as follows. A man named Alan Boff Whaley, W-H-A-L-L-E-Y, or Whaley, don't know. Lead guitarist of this band, except he has said in interviews he wasn't a very good guitarist, but it's a punk band, so it didn't matter. Kind of true. Look through your punk history. Nowadays, still alive, he is a claimed, just sidebar, he's a fell runner, F-E-L-L runner, which I might tell a story about at some point, but fell runners like to run uphill and downhill a lot. That's like their thing. They're like, if you don't have a 30% grade, we ain't even talking to you. So he's like one of those. He's a big fan of it now. Good for him. My knees scream just thinking about it. But that's one of the members of this band. Then my favorite named member, a man named Danbert No Bacon. His last name is No Bacon, N-O-B-A-C-O-N, pronounced No Bacon. Born Nigel Hunter, he was acclaimed in early years before this band. He would strip naked at his solo shows. He would do a show. He would get naked throughout. He would take off an article of clothing and then just perform naked. His first solo album was called Bigger Than Jesus, and the album art was just a close-up photo of his flaccid penis. So we love Danbert No Bacon, dude. Like, he's what we're talking about here. There are 2 other members of this band. They were named Midge and Tony. I can find nothing on the internet about Midge and Tony, which suggests to me they're the most punk motherfuckers in the world, right? Literally, no interviews, no nothing. Didn't talk to anybody. I got Midge's real name was Michael. That's all I know. Then there was a woman named Lou Watts who joined the band shortly after their inception, and a woman named Alice Nutter who was also in this band. The band all squatted in a house in Leeds, England. So in the north of England, they all lived together in a house they weren't paying rent on, but they could live there. It was probably abandoned. They all lived there. And this band's early days was almost Arcade Fire-esque, right? They just kept adding members, whoever lived there. It was like if you moved into their shitty house, they'd be like, cool, can you play a tambourine? You're in the band. So that was how this band worked back in the early 1980s, and they were just like solidly in the punk scene in North England. Now, if you didn't know, Sex Pistols are from North England. Bunch of folks came out of that, out of actually Manchester, Liverpool, funny enough, and Leeds. Northern England was a big punk scene at the time, so they were a part of it. Their first ever recording was in 1982. It was recorded onto Crass Records. Crass Records was run by a different punk band named Crass, so they got on a compilation album. Love the name of it. It was called Bullshit Detector 2. There was a Bullshit Detector 1. They got on Bullshit Detector 2. Their whole thing since their inception was to fuck with power and fuck with people who had set beliefs in any way, really. But especially people who hated. Any kind of hate. So there was a musical tradition going on in England in the 80s called Oi. O-I exclamation point. Perhaps you know it from the band No Doubt. They like to say Oi a lot. If you liked the Christmas album there was the, like, now that's what I call Christmas or whatever, a song called Oi to the World that No Doubt did. That's how I know Oi. But Oi is a punk spin-off genre, very much taking from the tradition of the Sex Pistols and the Ramones, just loud, fast music, but also involving English pub songs and English folk songs. That was what Oi was all about in the 70s. But by the 80s, that whole English nativism element started to subsume the whole genre, and it became overrun by skinheads. So skinheads and people in England who didn't want immigrants coming in started to own this genre. So this particular band said, you know what? Gotcha. They put out a single under the name was Skin Disease. They called themselves Skin Disease to suggest the racist overtones. They put out a song called I'm Thick. That's the name of it. Thick. Fast and loud punk song, minute 30 seconds. They just yell I'm thick 64 times. Now, all of us in 2021, we associate thick with looking good, but thick in England, of course, means stupid. I'm thick. I can't figure it out. So they put out a song that just says I'm stupid 64 times, got it onto a compilation album from one of these Oi fan groups, and it got put out there and loved by everybody in the community, and they were like, joke's on you, you're all fucking idiots. So that's how they started, right? Then they put out an LP under their actual name, their first ever LP. Their first LP was called Pictures of Starving Children Sell Records, which, you know, might be true. It was in response to the Live Aid concert, which they found the Live Aid concert to be so ridiculous that they were like, you're all just putting celebrities up there. You're not actually doing anything about world hunger. So they put out this album to say, you're all a bunch of hypocrites, right? So that's their first one. Their second album is called Nevermind the Ballots. Here's the Rest of Your Lives. It questioned the entire British political system at the time. It was basically riffing on both parties and how stupid they were. It was talking about, one of the songs was called The Candidates Find Common Ground. Some of the lyrics are conventional weapons to kill people nicely, nuclear weapons to keep the peace. Either way, we must defend ourselves. That's some of the lyrics. It was just about, like, how all politicians are coming to fuck you. They put out an EP at the same time, much in the similar way that they did with Skin Disease. They put out an EP under the label Scab Aid. This isn't a jab at Live Aid. It's actually a jab at something called Ferry Aid, which anyone who's from Europe in that time knows. There was a massive ferry disaster in Belgium that killed 193 people. A ferry capsized, and a bunch of celebrities recorded the song Let It Be and tried to raise money in honor of these people that died. Turned out to be kind of bullshit. Sounds a lot like singing Imagine during a pandemic if you're a bunch of celebrities, but that's just me saying it. So they sing Let It Be. This band puts out another LP under the name Scab Aid and also do a cover of Let It Be, but they put in lyrics such as Nothing sells like disaster, let it be. So they do that, right? And they're just like, fuck everybody. 80s end, they start moving into the techno rave scene. They're really into that music. They decide that that's what they want to do. They can eventually quit their day jobs, which is a big sign of success. They sign with a label called One Little Indian Records, which, funnily enough, never an issue for this band, but, you know, it's England. They don't have as much issues with indigenous people as we do. Their third album, because they are the indigenous people, is 1994's Anarchy. That album's cover is a baby's head emerging from a vagina mid-birth. That's the album cover for that album. Tracks on that album include Homophobia, obviously an anti-homophobia song, On Being Pushed, and my favorite, Mouthful of Shit. That's just a good name for a song, Mouthful of Shit. Obviously, it's a bit divisive. Some places put a sleeve on it if you want to buy this album, but still sells a decent amount to the point that EMI Records, which is one of the bigger record labels in Europe, wants to sign this band. So they say, sure, Despite all they're coming from, they say, fine, we'll sign with EMI. Even though earlier in their career, they were on a compilation album titled Fuck EMI. True story. They get signed to EMI Records. Obviously, some of their contemporaries say, you guys are selling out. They say, look, man, One Little Indian Records was trying to make money. I might as well go with the people who are overtly trying to make money, and we're going to find a way around that. So they say, let's find a way to be financially viable. Let's find a way to get to a wider audience and continue to espouse our beliefs. The year 1997 hits. That's when they get famous. This band becomes super famous in 1997. We'll talk about it. But what happens after they get famous? Alice Nutter, one of the band members, God bless Alice Nutter. In August 1997, she has an interview with the magazine Melody Maker in Europe, where she says, quote, "Nothing can change the fact that we like it when cops are killed." People ask her to apologize, obviously. Nobody does. She doesn't. The whole band says, fuck that, we're not going to apologize. And then they use it as a platform to speak to the plight of working class English people about how they are abused. Uh-oh, did it stop? I'm coming in. By the police. Okay? So, in January 1998, Alice Nutter again, goes out and advises fans to steal their record from major chains like HMV, like Virgin Records, to the point that HMV and Virgin had to move the albums behind the cash register, which is actually how I bought it. I actually grew up in a former colony, so we had HMVs. So you had to ask for it by name, their album. The Brit Awards in 1998 roll around. They're up for Best Single, and they perform there wearing jumpsuits that all said sold out, shift units, and label whore on them while they were performing. The background behind them is images of street riots and uprisings and black and red flags of the revolution. They changed the lyrics to their song and to reflect a dock worker strike that was going on in the UK. The new lyric said, "New Labour sold out the dockers just like they'll sell out the rest of us," right? And they're singing that top of their lungs on British television. Later in the evening, Dan Burt No Bacon, one of the guys in the band, God, love that name. He finds the Deputy Prime Minister of England, a man named John Prescott, who's at the concert because the New Labour Party is trying to seem cool and hip, right? He finds him at the concert. He brings a bucket of ice water and dumps it on the guy's head. Gets detained by security after performing, and then taken out of this whole ceremony. So these guys just didn't care. They got offered $1.5 million by Nike to get the rights to this pop song and put it in a commercial. They said no way. In 2002, which is several years later, they get offered another commercial for another song they have later on, not the same one. The Pontiac Vibe was coming out. They asked to get the rights to their song for it. They pay the band $100,000, a little less this time, a little less big of a hit. They say, sure, no problem. They take that $100,000, they flip it, they take it to anti-corporate activist groups, specifically ones operating against GM for environmental regulations. They take that to them. They just spin the money around and shoot it right back in attacks at GM. So this band kept going till the year 2012. They kept making music. They moved through several other genres, but they always kept their sort of punk rock, F the man ideals. So let's talk about the song we're talking about. It hit the UK. It hit number 2 on the UK charts, right behind Men in Black by Will Smith. Tough song to beat. That's a banger. But it made number 1 in Australia, number 1 in New Zealand, number 1 in Ireland, number 1 in several other countries, number 6 in the US, which is pretty good for a British band, not named the Beatles. It was an anthemic rocking number, so it just stuck in people's heads. It was a lot of fun. But if you crack open the song lyrics, it really is about resistance to people in power, continuing to persevere in the face of oppression. And one of the things they talked about is it can be sung by anyone. It doesn't require any virtuosity. It's very much a song of the people, almost a chant. The name of the song itself is a slang term for political campaigning in the UK. So even through this song, they were taking shots at, your standard issue politicians, etc. And the cover of the album is a baby's head cartoonishly smiling, which reflects, obviously, their former album, Anarchy, the baby's head coming out of the birth canal. This one, I think, was sort of a saying, hey, remember that one? And the band name itself comes from a term for gender confusion with our guy, Dan Burton O'Bacon. Again, this is the semi-apocryphal story, but that he had a dream where he was at a club and he went to go to the restroom, and instead of man and woman, the names on the restroom signs were blank and blank, which he then alluded into one word to become the name of this band. Essentially, one of the earliest instances of realizing gender is a social construct. Dan Burton O'Bacon himself called himself a transvestite at the time. Not sure nowadays, but might call himself trans. Not sure, but at least he knew how fluid gender was back in 97. Well, back in 82 when the band was formed. All that to say, tonight's question, that's the story. These guys, this anarchist band made a big hit. My question to y'all, 5 points each. What was the name of the band and what was the name of the single? 45 seconds on the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is fun, right? 20, 21, 22, 23. Let's get the timer now. And 15 seconds left. So, what band am I talking about, guys? And what do you mean I look different than when I started telling the story? Hadn't noticed. What's the band? What's the name of the single? And of course, you'll all be singing when you're winning. And when you get knocked down, you're going to get up again. We were looking for Chumbawamba Tub Thumping. Tub Thumping, the single, Tub Thumper, the album. We were looking for Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. That's for 10 points. And let me do a second outro here. Sure, nothing went wrong. Don't worry about it. That's going to do it for tonight/today. Thanks, everybody. I've been your host, Matt McNelly, here at Trivia Ronin. We really appreciate y'all helping build this experience, especially you are probably watching this on YouTube because it all went wrong on Zoom. We'll talk about that. Well, we'll never talk about that again. But anyway, for all of us here at Trivia Ronin, I'm Matt McNelly saying, please don't be a shitty person. Check your internet connections, and we'll see you soon. Bye.